Alright, today we're going to be talking about basic constructions. And when I'm talking about basic constructions, um, I'm referring to making lines and segments and angles without measuring them out and duplicating them. So there are a few um, quick vocabulary words that you're going to need to know in order to make these constructions. The first one is a compass. You've used compasses before, often to make circles, um, and it is a tool used to do that. But it also can be used to measure things, which we'll see in a minute. The next item that you're going to need to use is a straight edge. Straight edge is pretty straightforward. It's a tool that is like a ruler but does not need to have markings. So it could be a ruler. It could also be the side of your book. It could be just a piece of, straight wood or plastic or whatever. Side of your notebook, okay, as long as it's straight. All right. So the first thing we're going to be talking about is constructing congruent line segments. So when you're talking about congruent line segments, you're talking about line segments that are equal. So first, you just have a line. Okay, so here we have segment AB. Okay, we have segment AB. The next step that you're going to want to do, so this step, the first step you're going to do in order to duplicate is draw a ray on your paper. Now, the clue about this ray is that it needs to be longer than the segment appears. Okay? All right. The next step that we have is to open the compass to the size of the line segment. So you're going to take the point, put it on A, and stretch the compass out to B. All right? The key thing here is you do not, between transferring the compass from AB, from segment AB to ray C, you do not close the compass. All right? So you're going to transfer that same length over, put the point on C, and then you're going to take your pencil and you're going to draw kind of like an arc. Okay, you're just going to take it and draw right there, put a point at that particular spot, and that is a congruent segment to AB. Then we could name this point D, and then we have AB, segment AB is congruent to segment CD. All right, the next construction we're going to be talking about is constructing congruent angles without a protractor. That's the key here, without a protractor. Yes, it is easy to just pick up a protractor and measure it and then take it over and do it again, but this is a really good skill to learn how to do. So the first thing you're going to do, just like with the congruent segments, is you're going to draw a ray. All right, this is going to, as it says here, serve as one of the edges of your angles or one of the sides of your angles. All right, the next step is that you are going to put your compass at the vertex and draw a short arc that connects the two edges. So you would just take it, take your compass, put the point right on the vertex here, stretch this out, all right, and then you would draw the arc, okay? Now, again, do not close the arc from that particular length. You're going to transfer it down, put the pointy side on the vertex, and then draw a big arc on your ray, just like it's shown here, okay? All right, the next step is to put your compass on both sides of the point where the arc meets your two rays. So what I mean by that is you are going to put it here, all right, you're going to put one side here and match it up to the other side of the arc. So just like this, okay? Now you have the length between the two rays here, transfer it down, put the point on one side where your arc that you created earlier and your ray cross, and create another arc. Okay? Your last step is to draw another ray using your straight edge where the two arcs cross over, where they meet. Okay? And this angle should be exactly the same size as your other angle. Alright? Okay. Now we have a couple vocabulary words that you need to cover before we go on to the next constructions. The first one is perpendicular lines. And perpendicular lines are two lines that intersect to form right angles, just like it's shown here. So this is a right angle, and this is a right angle. The next vocabulary word is a perpendicular bisector. A perpendicular bisector. That is a perpendicular bisector of a segment is a line, segment, or ray that is perpendicular to the segment at its midpoint. That's the main key, at its midpoint. Therefore, it's bisecting the two segments into two congruent segments. So for example, if this was a perpendicular bisector, that means this segment and this segment would be congruent or equal to each other. Okay? Alright. So, in order to create a perpendicular bisector of a line, you're going to have your line here, okay? And you are going to place the compass point on one end of the line segment and draw an arc on each side of the line. So, for example, here, the key here is you want to stretch it out past the midpoint, what you would think the midpoint is. Draw a big arc, and then you're going to take your compass with the exact same size, and you are going to, uh, just as I said that, I changed the size. Good job. You are going to transfer it over, put the pointy side here, and draw another arc, okay? Uh, just like this, okay? So you're going to have two different arcs here, Now where those two arcs cross over, you're going to take a straight edge and draw a line, So as you can see, this particular line is 8.5 centimeters long. The midpoint is right in the center at about 4 1/4 centimeters. Okay, so that is how you create a perpendicular bisector. All right, the next construction we're going to be talking about is an angle bisector. And an angle bisector, just like a perpendicular bisector, is a ray that divides an angle into two congruent coplanar angles, and its endpoint is at a vertex. So we have this angle, and the red ray is what is bisecting the angle, making two completely congruent angles. Alright, so go through the instructions again to do this. You use a compass to draw an arc, the center of which is the vertex of the angle. Okay, so you're going to draw an arc. Alright, so I'm going to draw an arc right here. Okay, and then I'm going to name where those arcs cross over A and B. Okay, the next step, skipped ahead. The next step is to take this same length, and from point A, draw an arc right here, and then take it over to B and draw an arc right here. Okay, so your end result should look like this. You should have 1, 2, 3 arcs. Okay, now where these two arcs right here meet is where you are going to match the vertex up with where it's meeting and draw a straight line. Okay, and draw a straight line. So then what your end result should look like is you should have two congruent angles. Two congruent angles, as they're demonstrating here using the protractor. So we have a 15 and a 15, okay, for the whole angle to be 30. So what I'd like for you to do now is to practice on in your notes, just creating those things, rewind, practice a couple times. We are going to be practicing this during class tomorrow. It's okay if some of the instructions seem a little daunting. All right, it does take a little while to get used to this. All right, but make sure that you understand the vocabulary words and what an angle bisector is, what a perpendicular bisector is, and have a general idea of how we are going to be creating these constructions tomorrow.